Clayton Hires has come to the rescue. So, guys, I was talking to you the other day about my problem with the term exhibition as it pertains to a boxing contest, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. specifically. Why are you doing it? I mean, exhibition gives us a connotation that this isn't for real. So I called Clayton. I said, Coach, tell me about this exhibition term. Is this a term that is wildly and openly used in boxing? Because as a wrestler, as a MMA guy, when I hear the term exhibition, I hear scrimmage. I hear sparring. I hear playful. I don't hear fight. And this is a fight. I got two fighters in here doing an exhibition. What, am I hearing this wrong? He said, yeah, you sure are. He says, as a matter of fact, exhibition is a very common term in boxing, and all that it means is that they wear headgear. I go, Coach, literally that's all it means? I go, does it take them outside of the commission's control? He said, nope. I said, well, is the weigh-in going to be regulated? He said, yep. I said, what about the rounds? Is it 3-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest? He said, yes. I said, well, how many rounds are they going? I said, do you know? Are they going 4, 8, 10, 12? He goes, 8. And I said, can you confirm that for me? And he goes, nah, better go look it up. But I did read initially that this was going to be 8 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, 1-minute break. And all that exhibition means in boxing terms is headgear. And he said it's very relevant because boxing largely has 2 classifications. You've got the amateurs, which of course does largely come down to the apparel. You have the pros, which also can signify, amongst other things, a change in apparel. He said, so when you do an exhibition, you can bring in 2 killers, you can bring in 2 pros, but you allow them to put headgear on. He said in the boxing world, it's just easier to speak and say we're doing an exhibition, which means put on headgear, than it is to say, hey, these 2 pros are going to go out there, they're going to fight. Oh, by the way, they're going to look like amateurs because they're wearing headgear. He said that gets a little bit tough for marketing too. So I think I understand it a little bit better, but it does make me wonder one more question. Popular opinion. I just want to vote from you guys. Was this the right fight to make? It seemed as though when Mike Tyson came out with this idea that it just couldn't go wrong. I mean, Mike Tyson came out with this idea, I'm going to box again. First promoter with $1 million gets my signature and my performance. And then he puts out like an 8 to 11 second video on Instagram where he's hit and miss with Rafael Cordero. That did like 900,000 views. No talk of a date or of an opponent. And all of a sudden you're going, man, I'm not sure this Mike Tyson can miss. Then when people were seeing an opportunity to share the ring with Mike Tyson, and a lot of them, but Mike Tyson was their heroes. I mean, right, a lot of them were younger guys. Tito Ortiz, by example, who grew up looking up to Mike Tyson. All of a sudden, you started having these other names that were getting interesting. But there's a part of you that still felt like, well, we're starting to get a little too competitive here. I know that Alexis Emelianenko, Fedor's brother, was initially thrown into this by a Russian promoter who called up Mike Tyson and said he was interested in the match. Well, that starts to make a little bit more sense. Lexus has never been a great boxer, but he's a big guy, and he's not afraid to go in there and stand toe-to-toe. He's a lot younger. Maybe some of that youth would make up for his lack of experience in that field. Some of that just made sense. When I was in the Mike Tyson sweepstakes, I wanted to put him against Peter McNeely. I thought, look, if we're just going to have a fun cash grab that's open, Tyson is telling everyone, this is just about the money. Okay. We can work with absolute honesty by being absolutely honest back. This is a cash grab. We're limiting the rounds and we're bringing an opponent. Everybody gets a redemption story. And the good news for McNeely is if he can make it 1 full round, he has now redeemed himself. He has done better the second time than he did the first time. This is my thought process. Very light in the process, was I? I'm not here to tell you I had a better idea. I like the fact that it's Tyson versus Roy Jones. It just, I get thrown off when I hear this word exhibition. So I want to kind of clear that for everybody, that according to Coach Clayton, the word exhibition is a common term within the sport of boxing. It means you have 2 professionals that do not have amateur licenses. They have professional licenses with a caveat: they will wear headgear.